Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Tomas, and today I am bringing you a new episode in my interior design in film series. If you haven't seen any of the previous videos from this series, make sure to go ahead and check them out. Once you finish this one, I will leave them linked down below in the description box. Now, in the last episode, we began a deep dive into one of my favorite directors, Nancy Meyers. We discussed the beautiful Santa Barbara estate in the film It's Complicated. And today we are continuing this deep dive with one of my all-time favorite interiors. This might actually be my all-time favorite film home ever, and that is the incredible Hamptons Beach House from the film Something's Gotta Give.
Harry Sanborn was living every man's fantasy.
I brought some champagne. I'll put it on ice.
You stay where you are. I have an intruder in my house.
You don't understand. I'm dating your daughter.
You're dating my daughter?
Now, who would have thought that would be worse news?
Something's Gotta Give was released in the winter of 2003, and it stars the legends Diane Keaton, Jack Nicholson, and Keanu Reeves, and is directed once again by Nancy Meyers. On this series, I not only love highlighting the director's work, but also the incredible talented people who helped bring these films to life, and with them, the beautiful interiors we all dream about. So on today's episode, we shall be highlighting production designer John Hutman and set decorator Beth Rubino's work. Throughout the video, we'll be highlighting the Hamptons oceanfront house, its exteriors, and of course, its incredible interiors. Now, for those of you who might not be quite familiar with the film's premise, Something's Gotta Give follows the story of Harry Sanborn, played by Jack Nicholson, an infamous bachelor and womanizer, together with his new young girlfriend Marin, played by Amanda Peet. They plan a weekend getaway to go to Marin's beach house in the Hamptons, only to find out upon their arrival that Marin's mother, an accomplished dramatist, Erica Berry, played by Diane Keaton, would too be spending the weekend at the home. As to be expected, Erica is scandalized by her daughter's relationship and Harry's sexiest ways. But when Harry has a heart attack, leading the doctor, played by Keanu Reeves, to prescribe him with bed rest at the Berry home, he finds himself falling for Erica, who just might, for once, be way out of his league. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the discussion. I want to kick things off by talking about the beautiful exteriors of the home. The Hamptons Beach House was an actual home in Southampton, New York, located in an extremely private and exclusive area of Long Island. The incredible home was used solely for exterior scenes. And I am sorry to break the news for those who don't know, all of the interiors were actually shot in a soundstage at the Sony Studios in Los Angeles, where they were designed and built from the ground up. But we'll get to the interiors in just a second. The home is a gorgeous East Coast shingle-style beachfront house, which last it's been recorded, sold in 2014 for over $41 million. It sits on nearly 2 acres of oceanfront property. However, the walks on the beach that we love following during the movie were shot elsewhere at Flying Point Beach in Watermill. With an impressive driveway, a wraparound porch, abundant hydrangeas, and luxurious amenities, which, by the way, the pool that you're seeing in this picture is actually a fake pool that was built in the stage and was only 2 feet deep. The exterior of this house could not be more picture perfect. Who wouldn't want a weekend getaway in a house like this? It is a classic look done to perfection. As with any Meyers film, this home feels not only like a character of its own, but an extension of the movie's protagonist. And this home feels like a true extension of Erica Berry and her life's journey. And as we step inside, the views are even more spectacular. Making our way into the home, I want to immediately start by discussing the beautiful living room. The living room in Something's Gotta Give is one of my all-time favorite spaces in film. It feels extremely well thought out, curated, and put together. Not only is it a wonderfully designed and crafted space, but I believe it to be quite realistic and, most importantly, achievable. If you would like to hear some of my tips, ideas, and recommendations of things to do in your space to achieve this look, make sure to stay till the end of the video, where I'll tell you how to recreate this look in your own spaces. Now, where do I start with this room? Working our way from the ground up, the room is centered and tied together with the most beautiful rug. This blue and white striped rug turned out to be an authentic vintage Derry rug, which measured over 70 feet. On an interview, Beth Rubino mentioned how when she found the rug, she was immediately won over, expressing it had the perfect look. However, the rug had to be cut apart and put together in different areas to be able to fit into the room and the set. The end result is this wonderful eclectic Derry, which brings in the beachy look in a classic and elegant way. The furnishings and styling in this room are a masterclass in set decorating and production design. Working hand in hand, Hutman and Rubino managed to create the perfect atmosphere and home to represent Erica Berry. What would the home of a divorced single woman with an incredible, successful career look like? The room flows beautifully with an extremely thought out furniture layout. It feels organic and has a perfect placement. Keeping the traditional style of a true Nancy Meyer staple set, the living room is centered with light and airy slip-covered sofas and accent chairs, which contrast beautifully against the darker wood-toned side tables, consoles, and the massive upholstered ottoman in the center of the room. As I mentioned in all of my videos, lighting is a huge factor in creating the cozy feeling that these movies radiate. And in this room, we can see the various uses of table lamps and floor lamps to build that dimension and add visual interest to the space. I want to quickly point out the gorgeous Swedish Mora clock. The piece fits perfectly with the rest of the space, yet stands out for its beautiful, delicate, and more feminine design. It's a perfect piece for a character such as Erica. Myers, Hutman, and Rubino had created well-thought-out conversation areas, connecting the main living room layout with special moments off to the sides, such as this wonderful reading nook with a pair of black wicker chairs, a classic Hamptons look, side table, and a floor lamp. And right here, we get a perfect view into those incredible built-in bookshelves that wrap around the further side of the room, going over the guest room door and connecting with the wonderful fireplace in the center. Right above the fireplace, we can see this beautiful piece of art, which adds color and warmth to the space, and is only one of the many glances we get into the wonderful art curation that the home has. The architectural details in this room are outstanding. The walls are decorated with beautiful trims, built-ins, and my favorite part, the floor-to-ceiling glass French doors leading into the patio and ocean beyond. It is a classic look that adds a level of elegance to the space and helps bring the outside in. This is, in my opinion, the perfect room. And these are some of the many reasons why so many of us fell in love with the interiors of the home from the very first time we watched the film. This room feels like the heart of the home, and every last little detail shines through the screen. It is truly remarkable. Although we don't spend much time in the dining room, I could not miss talking about this beautiful space. Keeping with the traditional and beachside design style that the rest of the home has, the dining room is an elegant, homey, and classy space. The walls are painted in a warm, creamy color which blends beautifully with the wider trim and French doors connecting the rooms. On the walls, I want to point out the wonderful sconces with a mix of traditional and a vintage look. They tie in perfectly to the grand iron chandelier above the table. On the center of it all, a large round dining table helps ground the space. Its darker wood tone is a play on contrast and more masculine touches against the delicacy and femininity of the home, which ties back to the darker tones we previously saw in the living room. The floral arrangement serves as a perfect centerpiece and is a nice touch, helping the room feel more real and lived in. The chairs are magnificent, with the most wonderful, delicate slip covers. But by far my most favorite touch in the space, as I am sure it is for many of you, is the massive cabinetry with open shelving displaying the most beautiful curation of ironstone. The collection of plates, bowls, and dishware is magnificent and help bring an extreme level of elegance to the room. Beth Rubino previously mentioned on an interview that she got the inspiration for this wall from a good friend of hers who had a similar look in her own home. It is the perfect way to dress up the room and finish it off with a bow. This is a touch that I would personally love to one day incorporate in my own home. If you are familiar with Nancy Meyer's work, then you know that the kitchens in her films are always exceptional. And the kitchen in Something's Gotta Give is one of the dreamiest she's ever done. With a double island, infinite counter space, countless storage, custom cabinetry, display shelving, and restaurant-grade appliances, the kitchen in this Hamptons home leaves nothing to be desired. The kitchen is where the characters come together. Whether it's an unexpected run-in, a safe space for private conversation, or late-night pancakes, the kitchen is used throughout the film in pivotal moments. So, it was crucial for Myers and her team to make it feel and look as real as possible. The walls and cabinetry are classically painted in a creamy white color, paired masterfully with the stainless steel appliances, subway tile backsplash, and dark soapstone countertops. However, this being a set and not an actual luxurious kitchen, movie magic comes into play in the most ingenious ways here. A great example of this is the faux soapstone countertops. For this expensive look was achieved by simply painting over plywood with the right shade of gray. The styling by Rubino in this room is excellent. I love the use of colorful cookbooks stored in the open shelving on the sides of the kitchen islands. It brings a pop of color necessary in a white kitchen. The floral arrangements and fruit and vegetable bowls bring life to the space and work hand in hand with Erica's personality and setting of the film. But by far, one of my favorite elements in this kitchen is the use of glass front cabinetry throughout the space. We can see it repeated all around, and it brings an airiness much needed when you have such a grand kitchen with this much storage and cabinets. It helps break the bulkiness of the built-ins and also serves as a beautiful and elegant way to display Erica's curation of ironstone, cookware, cups, mugs, and other beautiful dishware. It is the most perfect kitchen and a look that a lot of people have tried recreating in their own homes following the film's release. The guest bedroom is where Harry resides for a big part of the film. And even though we only get a few glimpses into the space, it is a room worthy of conversation. And a room which has personally inspired me in my own design. Continuing the beachy feel of the rest of the home, the guest bedroom follows with the use of creamy white paint on the walls, this time incorporating vertical paneling as a beautiful accent wall. The bed has an upholstered frame with soft, creamy duvet covers and sheet sets. Once again, Hutman and Rubino create contrast with the use of furniture, including a slightly darker shade of wood on the nightstands and an even darker console table off the side. The art in the room is wonderful, having that pop of color on a big print above the bed paired with a classy black and white gallery wall above the console. Floral arrangements are used even further in the guest room, bringing life to an already wonderful space. And my personal favorite touch, the pair of wall sconces on either side of the bed. This is a look that I've recreated in my own bedroom. If you haven't seen my full bedroom makeover, there are 2 parts out where I show my transformation of my bedroom, including me recreating the look of these sconces on either side of my bed. In the video, I show you the wall sconces that I ended up buying and using and how I installed them. I am obsessed with the way that they turned out and feel like they bring an elegance to the room, which I love. So if you want to check out that video, I will leave both of them linked in the description box down below, so make sure to check them out if you haven't yet once you're done with this one. The sconces have a simple white shade, and the body is made out of brass with a swivel arm, perfect as the bedside lighting, easy to maneuver for some night reading. I am obsessed with this little room, and I had to share some of my favorite details. What is your dream bedroom? For a lot of people, it's Erica Berry's dreamy main bedroom in Something's Gotta Give. Bathed in beautiful natural sunlight, this bedroom is the epitome of this Hamptons home and Erica's character. What would the private room of a single woman who also happens to be an extremely talented and successful writer look like? Well, Myers and her team answer that in the most masterful ways. For starters, the writing nook. Having the desk inside the bedroom and not as a separate office created this important work-life balance, showing how the two have blended together for Erica over the years and how her priorities might lie in her work and her craft. This nook is ripped out of a dream, surrounded by this incredible bay window with the most beautiful architectural interest and the perfect view to the exterior and the ocean. The main bedroom is styled masterfully with countless books, magazines, papers, use of diverse lighting, wonderful artwork, and an elegant color palette. No detail is spared. The furniture keeps the traditional look, incorporating elegant accent chairs, side tables, the bed frame, and the most wonderful chase. The rug helps ground the space, connecting the diverse furniture pieces, making everything look more cohesive, so as things aren't simply floating around the room. Every little corner works, creating separate seating areas, reading nooks, writing nooks, places to lounge, drink a coffee, or simply rest. The creamy color palette is used in a sophisticated yet extremely interesting way. I want to point out the countless uses of lighting in this room. This time, not only do we have table lamps and floor lamps, but the addition of this beautiful pendant light over the desk. It really ties everything together and brings a much needed contrast to the room. One of my favorite elements and details in this room is the way that Erica has styled her mantle. The center artwork is so captivating to me and feels like the perfect print Erica would pick out herself to display. For those interested, this piece is called Swim Party Number 2 and was painted by Kenton Nelson. It is a piece of 3 different artworks within the collection and gained immense popularity and demand following the film's release in 2003. In the film, it is paired with a couple smaller picture frames, a floral arrangement, and at times pillar candles. It is elegant and shows so much personality. Erica's room could not be more perfect, and what I feel might be the best main room in a Nancy Meyers film. So, like many others, you want to recreate the look of this Hamptons estate in your own home. Well, Nancy Meyers and her team give us many elements to go off of to achieve this look in simple ways. The thing that I love about the interiors in Something's Gotta Give is that as dreamy and picture perfect as they are, they can also be achievable and curated through the years on our own homes. The most important thing is color palette. To recreate the look of Erica's home, you want to keep a light and airy color palette. Using creamy whites instead of harsh whites can help you bring in that layer of warmth. Just as important is the use of light blues. This being a beachy setting, using a light blue and white color palette will help sell that beachside idea without it being tacky or overdone. Striped blue and white fabrics are your best friend, whether that be through the use of throw pillows, rugs, comforters, or even upholstered ottomans. Incorporating this print will give you that resemblance in a quick and effective way. Another thing to point out is curating your own artwork and being thoughtful of the pieces you display. Finding prints online that were used in the film is an easy way, but you can also try getting your own pieces that have a similar color palette or style to recreate the look using your own art. Finally, and what I think is the most important thing to take away, is that the homes in Nancy Meyers films are a character of their own, but also an extension of the characters and protagonists who live within them. So make sure that your home feels like an extension of yourself. Don't fall into trends, because this can lead to your home feeling unauthentic and unoriginal. You want your spaces to feel timeless and to bring you joy the second that you step foot into them. Remember that we decorate for ourselves and no one else. The only person you have to please when decorating your own home is yourself. So do what brings you joy and have fun with it. Alright, you guys, and that is gonna be it for today's video. I had the best time discussing the interiors in the film Something's Gotta Give. Again, this is one of my all-time favorite interiors in film, and I absolutely adore this movie. I've been having the best time discussing Nancy Meyers movies, and stay tuned, because if you're a Nancy Meyers fan, then I am sure you will love the next entry in my interior design and film series coming up super soon, right in time for the holidays. So I cannot wait for you guys to see that one. If you're someone who's been following me because of this series, I want to thank you so much for following along and watching and subscribing to my channel. Your support means the world to me. And if you're someone who is maybe just now finding my channel, or you're watching this video as your first video of mine ever, welcome to the channel. I am so happy you're here. Please consider subscribing. You can hit the bell button down below to be notified every single time I make a new upload. That way you guys don't miss any of my videos. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.